Absent-minded gamer here. Hey, we are going to do a little something different. We're going to do Flight Simulator talk. And what I want to talk about today is Microsoft's big announcement, Microsoft and Asobo's big announcement, and that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is going to be out in 2024. And it's going to have some pretty cool new features. We got to see a short little video. The video looks halfway interesting. There's a lot of speculation and a lot of rumors going around. And I guess the announcement has had its ups and downs given the way people feel about it. So we're going to just talk about it and talk about the video that we watched. And we're going to fly around Key West here in 2020. In the Carinado V-Tail Bonanza. So we'll do that while we talk. So I've been kind of thinking how an easy and good way to go about this would be. And originally I thought, well, I could list all the new features and blah, blah, blah. But there's really no reason to do that because everybody's seen the video from Microsoft and Asobo. So we're going to just talk about expectations and what we're going to want as users and what we know so far. So first thing we know is 2024 is going to be a standalone program. I know there was a lot of us that were probably hoping that it would integrate into 2020, thus upgrading 2020 to the new sim. Kind of like what the train simulators used to do from Dovetail. But that might just be impossible to do. So it's going to be a standalone program, so that means it's going to cost. And if it's anything like any other flight simulator that we've ever had, and different iterations of Flight Simulator, take like Prepare 3D, Flight Simulator 10, all of those were new programs. None of them were upgrades. So I think the expectations that there would be an upgrade price, I doubt very much. I don't think Microsoft would do that. But given that it's going to be what it is, and for people that paid the premium price for, well, paid any price for 2020, but the premium price for 2020, there should be a little give there. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't really sound fair. And why should people that bought the premium version get a discount and nobody else, right? So okay, so let's just throw the discount thing out the window because I doubt very much that that's even going to happen. We'll even see that. But as for the new sim, they're promoting that it's going to have new rendering. It's going to have new models. So totally different design for, I'm assuming, the aircraft. New trees and vegetation. I'm all for that. Let's go ahead and let's get rid of some of these trees, Asobo. Because I'm tired of looking at bridges that have trees growing out of them. And the clouds and weather are going to change. It's going to be upgraded. And you're going to have tornadoes and, who knows, hurricanes even, maybe. And new visual effects. So that's kind of cool. That's interesting. But is it worth what? Is it worth the price of admission if you're getting this in 2020? Are all those new things really worth it? Now, we do know that everything that we bought from the marketplace, Microsoft has said that most everything will work in the new sim. So that's a plus. So that means that hopefully when the new sim comes out, I can install it, and I can, everything that I own from the marketplace will just automatically install to it. That'd be great. But what does it mean for like third-party scenery and third-party, even freeware scenery? Because I have tons of freeware scenery on my 2020 version. So what does it mean for 2024? I would think that all of that would be compatible as well. I can't believe that the world's going to change that much. The way the world, the graphics look for the world, the way the map system works, I doubt very much that'll change. But, who knows? Maybe it will. Some of the other things, we're getting some new airplanes. That's kind of cool. The A400M. I would really like to see that plane. I believe there is a payware version of the A400M right now, isn't there? I'm not sure. I haven't looked lately. I might be thinking of the C160. But anyways, and we're going to see the A330 and the A380. Now, is the A380 the freeware one that they've been promising for Flight Simulator 2020? Hard to say. And let's see, what else did we look at? Oh, the big thing that I thought was kind of cool was the addition of the water bombers, the CL-415. I have always wanted a good water bombing simulation. And I remember, I think it was Abacus that did a really bad rendition of the CL-415, and it had a kind of a makeshift mission where you went and fought fires, but it was poorly conceived, and it wasn't much fun, and the airplanes kind of looked horrible. So I'm really looking forward to that. If I can have a fully modeled CL-415 and then go fight fires with it, oh, I'm in. Key West is really a beautiful place. So, with that being said, we're talking about the career modes now. Now, this is the video promoted the game as a career simulation. I don't remember the exact words, but you embark on your career in Flight Simulator 2024. And it lists a whole slew of jobs that you would have in aviation. Anything from agricultural all the way up to VIP charter service. I'm assuming passenger transport, industrial cargo transport, and all of that. And that sounds really cool. And how they put it together, that will be really awesome. Especially, the only thing that scares me about that is where you have to make money to buy, I really don't care for games where you have to make money in the game so you can buy things. I just want to go do the job, get in the plane, go fly, do the mission, and come back. That's what I like. So it's kind of hard to say where they're going to go with that, how that's going to be implemented. I'm assuming they're going to take reference from, is it Neofly? And do something like that, where you will build your own little business, basically. And it will probably involve monetary purchases and that kind of stuff in-game. That, where you make virtual money and then you have to buy new equipment. So will it also include the maintenance and everything else that, like, see, if you have an agricultural plane and an agricultural business, is that business going to the maintenance end of everything? And the same with any other thing that you would do in flying an airplane. the maintenance end. So we'll see. It really, really is intriguing when you consider the possibilities of what this will be and what it could be. And we'll kind of jump around here. Let's see what was some of my other notes. So one of the big things that I noticed when they showed the video, and for me, it was the inclusion of the A10 Thunderbolt. That kind of got my hackles up because I love anything military, and I love the A10 Thunderbolt. And the first thing I could think of is, oh, they're gonna allow military missions in Flight Simulator. But given Microsoft's track record on airplanes being able to fire weapons and that kind of thing, I doubt it. So what else does it mean? Well, it could involve some pretty interesting training missions. Training with, dummy bombs and that kind of stuff, and learning to utilize the A10 to its full ability. That would be kind of cool. It said low altitude flight training is what the video said. So there's that. That could be, where we're just being trained to fly low altitude, and you're not going to be attacking targets at all. But the other thing is the A10 going to carry its ordnance? If you're flying training missions, generally you would have ordnance on your plane. I would think. But who knows? I only Microsoft knows. Microsoft and Asobo, only they know at this point. And we are just here to sit and wait. And the other thing that concerns me is if this is going to be a standalone program, it is going to require an excessive amount of space, much like 2020. Now, I have my version of 2020 is on one 2 terabyte NVMe drive. And I have 2 NVMe drives installed in my computer. I have the ability to install more when I need to. And right now, my Flight Simulator drive, or NVMe drive, or storage unit, is just over a gig in size. And I'm pretty certain that's common with everybody. So far, with including all the freeware and the payware stuff, that's probably where everybody's at. So what are you going to do when you get Flight Simulator 2024? Are you going to take 2020 off and install the new one? I don't know that I want to do that right away. I don't want to have both simulators on, especially if the other simulator turns out to be much like this one. It's kind of pointless. It was kind of like going from Prepare 3D to Prepare 3D 3, 4, and 5. When 4 came out, I kept 4 on my hard drive because I wasn't sure about Prepare 3D 5. And so I had 2 installations of Flight Simulator, or Prepare 3D, on my computer, which was nuts. So when it comes to this, what am I going to miss here that I'm not going to have in the new one? Or am I going to have the whole same experience that I'm having here plus more? I think that's what needs to be answered. And the size thing. I mean, I'm not going to have any. I mean, I'll go out and I'll get another NVMe drive and dump it in my computer. And by then, they'll be cheaper than they are now. But I would really rather not do that. And then we got the whole performance issue, frame rates, and all that wonderful talk. Now, I just built this computer this year, and I am running an i9 12th generation i9 processor with 64 gigabytes of RAM with an RTX 3060. Okay, I cheaped out on the video card because at the time when I bought it, it was the best bang for the buck for me. And I don't really want to buy another video card. I mean, by then, video cards will start dropping in price too because they'll have a new series of cards. So you'll be able to get a 40 series for probably what I paid for the 3060. But I don't really want to do that. I don't feel like I should have to buy new hardware every 12 months just to support a game. And I know that there are a lot of you that are saying, oh, that's the way it is. You know, when you build a computer, your computer is outdated the minute you turn it on. Yeah, I get that. But I'm running 2020 on Ultra. I'm running it 3440 by 1440. And I get anywhere from 30 to 50, sometimes 60 frames a second. And I'm pretty happy with it. I'm running with my settings on Ultra. So, the only thing I don't have on Ultra are the trees and the grass, because I could care less about either one of those things. And I hate the trees in this game. And bridges that go nowhere. So Microsoft, Sobo, if you're going to fix things like that. There's Key West. That needs to be fixed. And I want to also talk about the inclusion of all the helicopters and some of the things we saw in the video, like mountain rescue, industrial cargo transport with like the Ericsson helicopter. I think, what was it, the Airbus HS-125 and the Ericsson, and I know there's one more helicopter, but I am all for. I really think that the helicopter market was totally ignored in this version of Flight Simulator. And though it works okay now, I think it could be much better. And I'm hoping that they improve on that a lot. I mean, the video where they're lowering the rescue harness from the chopper down to the victim to bring the victim on board. Now that takes me back to a game that I used to play, and the game, it had like 2 or 3 sequels, but it was all about helicopter rescue. And when you got into the helicopter, you flew the helicopter to where you needed to be. You deployed the rescue harness. You deployed your diver if you needed to, or your rescue person. And oh man, I wish I could remember what that game was, but it was so much fun. And that's something I really hope they can hit on, because if they can totally immerse you into flying a chopper and doing a rescue, like a sinking boat or mountain rescue, that kind of thing, I think that would be totally cool. So with that being said, there is a lot of speculation out there. And like I said before, we're not going to have answers. We're not going to know. We're going to know when Microsoft and Asobo decide to tell us. And I really hope that they can take the problems that they've had with this one, fix those problems, and put them in a new sim. And make it a whole working sim. I mean, I've had very few problems with 2020, but there are issues. I know there's bugs because I've found them. I've had CTDs, but for the most part, sometimes I blame that on what I've installed as freeware and other things that I've put in Flight Simulator. So I just hope that they can learn from all of that and put it into the new sim and make the sim, 100% the game that it needs to be. But what do I know? I'm just a lowly gamer. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and land and call it a day. There's beautiful Key West. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed talking about it. I know this is really big news for all of us, but we're probably looking at, anywhere from January 2024 or onward until it comes out. But if 2020 came out in January, so I'm just saying. Who knows? I'm sure it will amaze us. I'm sure it will be everything that this one isn't. And we will have all forgotten the negativeness that was created by the announcement of the new sim. Because change is generally good, and especially when it comes to games. I think I mean, more planes. I'm assuming that all the planes that we have now currently in this sim that came with this sim will work in the new sim. So everything will be fine. And that's what we got to remember. And we just got to be glad that we got Microsoft and Asobo out there making this wonderful, wonderful program for us and giving us this truly dynamic experience that is Flight Simulator 2020 and now 2024. Alright, well, hey, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Please hit the like and subscribe. And the other thing I was thinking as I was finishing this up, and I'm flying into this airport, out of all the flight simulators, what flight simulator has ever had a default airport that looks like that? None. Because the default airports were usually horrible. It was a couple buildings with a tower, and then you had to turn around and go buy the airport you wanted to get a realistic rendition of said airport. I mean, I have only started to mod Flight Simulator 2024, and in my opinion, it didn't really need a whole lot of modding to begin with, but I enjoy seeing what people do as far as freeware. and what they can do and how much they enhance the simulator. So there's that. But anyways, we'll call it a day. And thanks for watching.